And we're back with New World Sim, and this is my current main run on Akuma. So I basically needed 4 stacks, then block Akuma's attack with Video Celestia support skill, use series support skill, and then charge attack until 9 stacks, and then use skill and then ult. But that's like with my investment. It depends on what investment you have. Now this one's a surprise. Longyan Divine Fox is not bad here, although we do have 30% thermal buff this week. Also, you need to be quick with destroying the shield with Tess here or Akuma will jump. And then we just reduce Akuma's HP to almost invulnerable state, and then we use the last hit and then skill. Now that's not bad. I almost have to redo the Chenxing run. Now I have to use Longyan on the other boss because I'm using Bija on this boss. Now I think it's a second slower here because I need to reactivate Bija. Now Fenny Pureheart, although you might actually have a hard time if you have a higher Pureheart investment. Because I almost reached the invulnerability phase, just as at this point. Although I guess you can delay the, video support skill. The only not so great here is we need series to destroy the shield and we need to reactivate both support skill. Now it's probably hard to reduce it further unless, we don't need to ult to finish it on a higher investment. And here's with Acacia, Chrono, Echo.
Force. Full moon.
Now honestly, it's pretty much the same with Pureheart where I need to switch to series to destroy the shield. Although this one's a whole lot faster because, Acacia's charge skill is, deals a bit of damage on the shield. However, it's still a bit slower because I needed like full stack before I ult with Acacia here. At least in my current investment.
Let's start around, darling.
Now Katya Rhapsody. Now I thought I already have a decent amount of investment, but I guess not. Her gun is still tier 1 along with, Video Celestial's one. But I'm pretty sure on higher investment we're able to skip the second phase. At the very least, that's what I remembered.
I won't stop here.
Just a scratch. Won't slow me down.
The invulnerability really takes a long while. And then we have Katya Dawnwing team, although my Katya Dawnwing is not really much invested yet. Although I don't think I'll be able to. It's just risky to invest on an older unit these days because there can always be a future unit that could power creep, the current units we have. At least in terms of DPS units. The supports though really takes a long time before they get replaced. But that's just my opinion about it, I guess. And again, this is a not super invested Katya, just a tier 1 gun and not too good logistic stats. And Katya Blue Bolt, which is also not too invested as well. Because why invest further when Katya Rhapsody is just really overshadowing this unit, which is honestly a shame, yeah, to be honest. And I also think, I really like her skin more, than the other Katya variants. And when I said that, I meant the uncensored one. This one doesn't look as good. Like there's a glowing thing on her back, but there's a cloth underneath it. That just doesn't make sense, man. But it is where it is. Oh, and there's still no other crossbow units. And again, like Dawnwing, she's not fully
Fitting
invested.
ending.
Don't worry.
And we have Fritia Sparkdrive. Her current logistics is still not too good. And, Octus Drive 0 at the moment. Her double tap, Q, and shoot is really good for armor part. And I have Aquila so that I don't need to recast Vidya. And not needing to wait for Vidya's support skill means we can ult right away with Fritia. Because Fritia on her old form cannot cast support skill. Oh, and I got lucky here that it didn't jump away. So that's kinda hard to replicate. Also, if you check the boss HP a while ago when I used the ult, I think some of the ult didn't hit, so it could have been slightly faster.
Not quite a success.
And again, just for fun, a full support team with Tess, Phantasia as the DPS. Now why say this very thin? Well, because I didn't need to ult with Tess. At least on the first half.
Suspect found.
And coincidentally, I think I made it kinda better because I needed to reload before it goes invulnerable. So I was able to shoot a little bit more there.
Real magic.
So now I'm able to ult with Tess since it's still invulnerable, and then I just need to recast everything.
The truth is out. Magic engage. I'll cut you down.
So this is per series. Free pin is kinda better because I only need one mag to burst it down. It's kinda not bad, although the boss is weak to frost.
For you.
And here is without free fin.
Celebration magic. Just for you.
Don't worry.
And here's Lyfe Infinite Sight team. She just won't work as great without Fenny Starshine, so Starshine is kinda stuck with her. And we can only either choose Aquila or Vidya, so
Don't slow me
Vidya
down,
is
okay?
just better for this team against this boss.
Don't slow me down, okay? I wasn't nowhere to run. Suspect found.
Leave it to me. Awhile awaits.
Stop here. Don't slow me down, okay?
It's kinda funny that it's only on par with the current
The ice
support
in my
team
heart
that I
goes really
did.
nuts.
And here's Longyan against the Fox, and again, this boss has a frost
Air support in
resistance
position.
this week. Another thing is that Vidya Celestial Swan is on the other boss. So yeah, the boss moveset is still very RNG. It can really interrupt us a whole lot. You're lucky if you only did like a few runs and managed to not be interrupted. Unless your investment is really that high that your damage would like skip some of those RNG, and that is what usually happen in
Allow
time.
me to set the stage.
It probably could have been slightly better, but that's my current best so far.
Forcing my full attention? You cannot bear the cost.
If you were able to not use Vidya on the other boss, then you can still use Katya. Vidya's debuff should still be good enough. Plus, we do have frost damage buff as well, even though the boss has a frost resistance this week. And here's the current buff and debuff for the week. Frost and thermal being, higher but has a frost res. And don't use ADS if you're gonna use Katya, by the way. And don't dodge, for Longyan. And here's the build used starting from the very top of the list. Just tier 1. Attack alignment. And almost M2. And we have Lyfe Infinite Sight. Tier 2. Attack alignment for 2 and attack and skill haste for 1. M3. We have Fritia Sparkdrive. And currently I still need 2 days, for the puzzle. And I only have 1 good attack there. And Doctor's Drive 0. Here's Marian Aquila. Tier 1. And whatever free logistics they give us, attack alignment. And M1. Here's Fenny Pureheart. Tier 1. Attack alignment. And M3. Still trying to get that Emperor. And Fenny Starshine. Tier 1. Attack alignment. It's the free one we get before. And M2. Here's Series Briefing. Tier 1. And the free ones they give, max HP alignment. M2. Here's Chenxing Jade Arc. Tier 2. Attack crit damage. And Emperor. And here's Katya Rhapsody. Tier 1. Attack alignment. And M3. Here's Katya Dawnwing. It's tier 1, but the G6 is not great, because it should be attack alignment. So yeah. M3 though. And here's Katya Blue Bolt, tier 1. Attack alignment. And M2. And here's Tess Phantasia, tier 2. And whatever free logistics we get, attack alignment. And M3. Here's Vidya Celestial Swan, tier 1. Attack alignment with her signature weapon. And M3. And lastly, Longyan Divine Fox. He's tier 2. For now I still can't get more crit damage, so attack alignment to be safe. Or if you have alignment at max. And that's about it.